Well, Christmas time is here, the holiday season. And with the holiday season actually brings New Year's. And with the New Year's, it gets me excited for 2025 and all of the films that we have coming down the pipe. And lucky for you, I've made a list. I'm checking it twice, and we're going to find out which of these films is going to be hot trash and which ones are going to be real nice. As always, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you want to keep up to date on all the news in the entertainment industry, new films that are coming out, and reviews for those. Pretty much anything surrounding entertainment, because that's what we Criticalists are all about. So I want to go ahead and get straight to business here with my list, because I went straight to criticalist.com. Make sure to do that, where you can find us in the Android and Apple app stores. But I went ahead and made a list compiling all of the films, or at least the big ones, that are coming out in 2025. Now, one of the things that I kind of noted down here is that with these lists and this sort of thing, there's a strong chance that the best films of the year aren't even on this most anticipated list. We might not even know that they're coming down the pipe, or they're happening, or it's just the rumblings of them are really low at this point. If you were to look at my favorite films of this year so far, it was actually things that I had no idea whatsoever were coming out, which is honestly pretty great. I mean, if you look at my top list here, number 1 and number 2, Boy Kills World and Heretic, are both the highest of my rated films for this year, both of which got 100% for me. I didn't know either one of them was happening, and there's a strong chance that something like that will actually happen for next year as well. But with this list that I've made, what we're going to do is we're going to go through the list, talk about everything that's coming out and whether we should be excited about it or not. And I will actually be kind of adjusting this list afterwards as well, connected with the actual anticipation level of the film. So kicking things off, and these are in order of release date, is Wolfman. Now, Wolfman is supposed to be the next in this Universal Monsters film universe, which is really a bit odd, because that movie, that universe cinematic film world kind of fell apart, and then they did the Invisible Man movie, which I absolutely despise. Now, the good and or bad news about this is that Leah Whannell is the same guy directing it, and this is the guy who also did The Invisible Man. The Invisible Man is one of my most hated films of all time. I despised it, but he also did another film which I liked a whole lot, which was the film Upgrade. So this guy, it's kind of a hit or miss thing. He was attached to a lot of the Saw movies, but Upgrade was fantastic. So if this movie with Wolfman gets back to his roots and pulls away from his kind of just very pandery political crap that he put out with The Invisible Man, this might be great. So I'm down for a good Wolfman movie. We'll see how this turns out, but that's the first coming out of the year. Next up is Captain America: Brave New World. And if you have seen anything about this movie, then you know that it is not looking good for the next Captain America movie. Mainly, I think, because we've got Captain Do Better with Anthony Mackie playing the role as Captain America now. He was, or is still, Sam Wilson, but he's taken over the mantle of Captain America. And this is directly connected to the television show that was the tie-in and him actually becoming Captain America. A lot of people did not like it. It got hyper political, and this was kind of kick-starting Marvel's downward spiral. And now the character is back. We've got a Red Hulk, which is actually going to be played by Harrison Ford. And it's this whole thing has been screened, and people aren't liking it, and they keep doing reshoots, and money is just being dumped on it to try and fix it. Everything about it sounds pretty bad. So I'm not going to lie. I think that this is still part of the crappy Marvel Cinematic Universe. And so unless they get their crap together with films that we have coming later in the year, which I'll talk about, this one is not going to be one that I'm expecting anything good from. At best, it will maybe be a decent on the critical scale. Now, next up is the film Sinners. And Sinners it's a Ryan Coogler film. So will say cautiously optimistic. Ryan Coogler tends to lead really hard into the kind of trope of the modern race-based filmmaking. Now, he did do the Black Panther movies, but some of his stuff I like, some of it I don't. It really just depends on how divisive he tries to make this movie. Now, I did see the trailer. I'm actually fairly excited about it. I'm not super crazy about Michael B. Jordan anymore, and he's the lead in this, but we've also got Jack O'Connell, which I like okay. This is going to be a thriller horror movie. It's a toss-up. This could be great or absolutely terrible. We will see when it comes out. Now, next up here, we have Snow White. And well, I don't think I need to even say much about this movie. This is the one that this is the Snow White film from hell. This is the one that Disney can't figure out what to do with. It's starring Rachel Zegler, who can't keep her mouth shut and tends to do a lot more damage than good for the studio. And so this movie and the trailer just recently released. The trailer got totally ratioed with downvotes. I highly doubt this is going to be any level of good, even though I kind of like Mark Webb as a director. This thing is just a dumpster fire and a half, and I will be forced to see it, actually, because we did a Criticless Fantasy Football League, and I came in dead last because I don't watch football or care about it, because I think that the NFL is the closest thing to the WWE that we can get. So, there's my shade for all of you guys. It's fake. NFL's fake. So anyways, on to the next thing here is Alto Knights. Now, this I didn't know anything about, and honestly, I'm not super excited about. Now, it does look like it's some kind of crime mobster family movie. But it says an Italian-American crime boss, Vito and Frank, run their respective families during the 20th century. And in 1957, one of them makes a move to assassinate the other. Now, this is done by Barry Livingston. This guy has done a ton of movies. You've guaranteed to see at least one of them. And so this could be a good film. It's got Robert De Niro here. And so there are some bigger name stars attached to it. I don't know. I don't think this is going to go gangbusters, but who knows? Maybe everybody's hungry for a new modern mob movie, so it could be great. Next up, we have the Minecraft movie, or a Minecraft movie, shall I say, starring Jack Black. I am not excited about this, not anticipating it, and everything about this is just kind of I'm not looking forward to this movie very much. So there's that. I mean, if you are, let me know down in the comments below. But this thing, the trailer looked pretty bad. It seems like the fans are not super excited about this movie, and it just doesn't look too great. So we'll see. It's going to be a big CGI mess, would be my guess. Now, Mickey 17. This movie right here has been talked about for quite some time. It is Bong Joon-ho who's directing it, and it's starring Robert Pattinson. And basically, it's about a guy who there are multiple versions of him, from what I gather, and he does a job, and basically he just keeps on living even though he dies because there's more versions of him. This is a sci-fi comedy fantasy. It looks really good. I am not familiar with Bong Joon-ho's films. A lot of them have gotten a lot of love and praise over the years. I just haven't seen them. One of which being a Parasite. Now, I think I did actually see. I did see Snowpiercer, so that's a lie. And I loved Snowpiercer, but I didn't see Host or Oakjaw or some of his others. But I'm excited for this movie. I hope it's great. I will definitely be checking it out and reviewing it. Next up is The Accountant 2. Now, with this movie, this is a continuation of the Ben Affleck series, The Accountant. The last one came out ages ago. So this is really coming out quite late after the first. We'll see if this is any good. I'm curious about it. I actually liked the first one quite a bit, but it's been so long I don't really remember anything. It's a crime thriller or like a hitman type movie, so it could be good stuff, but we'll see when it comes out. I'm sure I'll see it. And like I said, I liked the last, so who knows? Maybe it's great, and I like Affleck. So now with the Thunderbolts, this is what I mentioned about Marvel turning things around. There are a lot of people that are not excited about this movie. It could be great or not. This is a real toss-up here, but this is really kind of starring the C team here of the Marvel universe and what they've kind of been building for the past 5-6 years. And a lot of people are going to be very hesitant about this movie. I actually saw the trailer and thought it looked decent, but I'm always here to give another try, to look on the positive side. And if this is where Marvel can turn things around with this kind of B-team Suicide Squad-esque team-up film here, that's kind of the closest thing to an Avengers movie we're getting since Marvel fell apart, basically. And I'm curious to see if this is good. I'm excited about it. I hope I am pleasantly surprised. Now, next up, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. I am extraordinarily excited for this film, and this is following suit with the last film, which came out this past year. I thought it was excellent, loved it a lot. That was Dead Reckoning, and I thought it was really great. And so, the fact that someone has already reviewed this is really funny to me. I don't actually know how she managed to do that because she's not a Crit Club member. So maybe we need to get this fixed. So, anyways, normally you can't review movies this far before they come out. So, anyways, there we go. There's some behind the scenes info on what goes on where I catch bugs on a regular basis. So, all right, Karate Kid Legends. Here we go. This thing, the trailer just dropped today, and people are excited. I'm not some mega Karate Kid fan. I like the originals. I think that they're really fun. I have not watched the Netflix television series. I plan to. Everybody has been telling me to do it. This is kind of gonna connect to the rest of the Karate Kid films, from what I gather, because it pulls in Jackie Chan, who was in the reboot film, and then we got Ralph Macchio, who is from the original stuff, and then the new series. So we'll see if it ties into the television show, but everybody's really excited about this. The trailer looks pretty good. So I'll probably see it, but I'm going to have to do some work and catch up on everything with, the television series. So from the world of John Wick Ballerina, worst name ever, but this is a continuation of the John Wick franchise. We have a trailer for it that's out. This might be good. Who knows? The jury is out, but I will hold out and wait and see on this one. I hope it's great, but these spinoff type things can be really hit or miss. But who knows? I mean, it's got your girl Anna de Armas in it, and she is she's pretty great. So maybe it'll be awesome. Now, next up, we have Elio. This is the upcoming Pixar film about a kid who loves aliens, gets abducted by aliens, and is basically the representative for Earth. And it sounds like a neat concept, but we'll see how it turns out. I've not been watching a lot of these type of films lately. I didn't see Inside Out 2, so we'll see where that ranks with it all. But How to Train Your Dragon 2 does have me excited. This is the live action version, and this is actually going to be directed and written by the guy who did the previous How to Train Your Dragon animated film. So I think that that's a good sign. A lot of the casting looks really good. Everything about this so far actually looks really solid, and I'm fairly excited to see this. We'll see what they do with it. There was some race swapping things with characters that people aren't excited about, and we'll see how that's handled. It's one of those things where this gets into dicey territory, because when you do that in a movie like this is very much kind of supposed to be a period piece, but it's also in a fantasy world. So where do you draw the line with all of that? And with the dynamics of the place in which this film takes place? But I'll hold out until we actually see it and see if it's a good movie. If it's a good movie, then I don't really care about that kind of thing. So the jury's out. But so far, I am excited. Now, the 28 Years Later film, I talked about this a couple days ago on the show, and this is with Danny Boyle back, Cillian Murphy's back, and Alex Garland writing. So this thing looks great. Aaron Taylor Johnson is excellent. Jodie Comer is as well, and Jack O'Connell, Ralph Fiennes. There are a lot of big names attached to this, and it looks great. Everyone seems to be excited. The trailer looks great. So, let's hold out hope. This could be a really awesome horror film and a return to the franchise. Now, F1, I didn't know anything about this until I started digging into it. And I was like, who cares? But then I saw Brad Pitt and I was like, all right, you have me intrigued. And then I saw Joseph Kosinski and I was like, okay, I will be watching this movie because I love everything he does, like Tron Legacy, Oblivion, Twisters, Top Gun Maverick. This guy, I actually love Spiderhead as well. If you haven't seen it, I recommend checking it out. I thought it was great. But this guy, everything he does, I really like a lot. I think he's a phenomenal filmmaker. He's got an eye for just excellent shots and giving you that cinematic feel. So him doing this and it being about an F1 driver, it could be really cool, even though this isn't normally my type of movie. Now, Megan 2.0. Not super excited about this because I didn't see the first one, but it's a horror movie about a robot girl. And I don't really know a whole lot about it, but I think it involves like AI type stuff and robots and them, offing people. So, all right, Jurassic World Rebirth. This thing could be cool. This movie actually could be pretty solid. We've got Gareth Edwards in here directing this. I think that he is a great director. I think I've really enjoyed what he has done with the Godzilla movies, but everybody complains about the me and Hammy and over the top and blah, blah, blah. I think they're awesome. And I love hammy, cheesy monster movies. And honestly, I don't really care if that happens in the Jurassic Park / world universe because whatever at this point. I hope it's good. We'll see. It's got Scarlett Johansson in it. So this is a full kind of a restart of the Jurassic World series, I think, with new characters. So I'll watch it. I'll check it out. I'm cautiously optimistic. We'll see. Now, probably my most anticipated film of the year, Superman. It's not called Superman Legacy. It's just called Superman. But this is James Gunn's Superman film, the full-blown rebooting of the DC universe with the big characters, the big dogs, bringing Superman back. This is either going to probably make or break what we have going for the future of superhero films. So I hope it's superb. People tend to like James Gunn's movies, and so hopefully he handles the DC universe with care and goes back to old school Superman. Everybody's freaking out about this poster because it looks OG like the old Superman stuff. I'm excited. Probably my most anticipated film of the year. I know what you did last summer. We don't have a poster yet, but they're rebooting this, I think. And we got a new cast, and apparently Jennifer Love Hewitt is going to be back. And so, okay, cool, I guess. So it's probably a soft reboot, kind of like they've done with Scream in the past. I don't know. We'll see. It's a horror reboot from a 90s franchise. Now, Smurfs also had no idea this was happening, and I'm not super excited, but this has Chris Miller attached to it. This guy's done the Shrek movies, Madagascar, all that type of stuff. He's an animated guy. This is going to be an animated musical film. Whatever, I guess. Sure. Why not? But it's got Rihanna and Octavia Spencer, Kurt Russell, Sandra Oh, Nick Kroll. The super cast stacked. They're stacked. It's a stacked cast is what this is. And so there's that. Maybe it's great. Animated musical sounds like my hellscape. So I will probably try to avoid this at all cost. Don't want to see it. Now, as far as anticipated movies go, this is pretty high up there. Fantastic Four, First Steps. This also, we talk about make or breaking things for superhero movies. This could easily do it. This is one of those that has people a bit optimistic, but people aren't excited about Pedro Pascal's casting, but everyone else in it, they are excited about. Well, that's outside of Julie Gardner, who they've gotten to play the Silver Surfer. Now, this could be an alternate universe version of the Silver Surfer, but it's one of those gender swapping things. And so we'll see. I really like what Matt Shakman did with WandaVision. He's the guy that did that, and I thought he did a great job. I like other things he's been attached to. So we'll see. If this is as good as WandaVision, hopefully it sticks the landing a little bit better. But this could be great. It's a period piece that's alternate universe stuff. So who knows? I'm still excited, but extremely cautious about this movie. The Naked Gun. I did not realize this was getting a remake, and apparently starring Liam Neeson. Had no idea. I don't know if this is going to be any good. This is one of those where most people are probably going to say we didn't need a remake. We didn't need another one of these. The first one is great. So, but with it having Akiva Schaffer attached to it, this is one of the Lonely Island boys. And I like a lot of the things that he's done and or been attached to, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we need another one of these or that it's going to be good. So Pamela Anderson in it has me curious. I'll probably end up seeing this, but I'm not going to hold my breath that this is going to be anything great. Bad Guys 2, didn't see the first one. Animated movie, family film. My kids have watched it and liked it, and I do like the animation of this series. I think it has a decent voice cast with Sam Rockwell and Mark Maron, Craig Robinson, some good people attached. But Bad Guys 2, maybe it'll be good. It's a decent enough kids animated movie with the first one. So Nobody 2, I'm actually extremely excited about this because I thought Nobody 1 was phenomenal. It is an excellent John Wick-esque style film. So if you have not seen it yet, definitely recommend you check it out because it's starring Bob Odenkirk as an absolute badass, which is not typically what we get from Bob Odenkirk. Normally he's kind of the mouth, and he's known for very different things than being an action star, being that when he really blew up was Breaking Bad, and he was even a comedian before that. So I think that he did a great job in Nobody 1, and I am all for showing up for another one of these and watching it, and I hope it's fantastic. So this will be very high on my list. The Conjuring Last Rites. I think I've fallen behind on this series. There's been like a gajillion of them. I thought that these movies were done. I love Patrick Wilson, and I liked the earlier films of this series, but I'm sure that our horror fans will have an opinion about this for sure. It's just I've kind of fallen off on these. Same for Saw 1 million. I can't even believe we're getting another one of these. I keep thinking that this series is over as well, but yet somehow we have another Saw movie coming this year. Whatever. Sorry, guys. Don't care in the slightest. I hate Saw. Do not like the movies. 1 and 2 were actually okay. After that, big decline. Do not care. Do not like this style of filmmaking or horror at all. Now, Tron Ares. This is where you have me very intrigued. Obviously, looking at Criticalist, I have a big thing for synthwave, the neon, the colors. I love Tron. I really, really, really love Tron Legacy. It's one of my all-time favorite films. I think it is just an amazing movie. But here we have a totally different director. We have a different cast. They're totally heading in a completely different direction with this movie. So I do not know what to think. And I hope it's awesome. I really, really do hope it's awesome. Jared Leto has me quite nervous, being that he's the lead in this. That could go very badly. It could be great, or it could not. So, Welcome Ronin. I'm not super familiar with the stuff he's done. I don't know that he directed these. He might have done Maleficent, but I'm not super familiar with him, so I don't know how he's going to handle this. He did do this movie, so it was okay, I guess, but we'll see. We'll see. I hope that it's great. I love the aesthetic of Tron and its world, but this movie, while it is one of my more anticipated films, we'll see. Now, this also, we've talked about my most anticipated films here and how I would rank them at the end, but The Running Man might be my number one most anticipated. I forgot it was on this list, but this is the next Edgar Wright film. I love Edgar Wright. This, if not handled terribly, is going to be absolutely amazing, being that Edgar Wright is directing it and this fantastic cast attached to it, like Glenn Powell, Josh Brolin, Lee Peace, Michael Cera, they're William H. Macy. I mean, good gracious, I hope this is awesome. I really hope it's good. If you're familiar with the premise of this, then it's a very apocalyptic, or, well, I guess you could say a end world scenario of things going sideways and a contestant, and it's gonna be interesting to see if he goes the route of the original film or if this is actually based off of The Running Man that Stephen King wrote back in the day. Because what it says down here is a man joins a game show in which contestants allowed to go anywhere in the world are chased by hunters employed to kill them. Awesome premise. It depends on if they go a political route with this or if it's less on the nose and just more tactfully handled. If it is, this could be the best thing of the year, hands down, because Edgar Wright owns the top spots for many of my favorite films. So The Running Man is high up there. Last thing to talk about here is Avatar: Fire and Ash. Now, the Avatar series, look, James Cameron, along with many other directors from his era, don't seem to know when enough is enough. I mean, honestly, I wish this the best. I hope it's great. I was not crazy about the last one. I didn't love it. I thought it was fine at best. Now, the first film I liked a lot. It is very much ripping off of things that came before it. I think it's a gorgeous film that had some really creative things about it. I think it is still very watchable. The World of Pandora is cool, but I just don't know. I don't know if this is going to be more of just driving this franchise kind of into the ground, or if it's going to do some cool new things. We'll see. This is not super anticipated for me as far as excitement level goes, but I hope it's good and I hope it's better than the last one. So there's that. Now, what I am going to do here, actually, I was tossing it around as I was making the video in real time. We're already at 23 minutes here, but I think I do want to go ahead and rank these very quickly while we're on the air, because why not? Who cares? I've already got a longer video at this point, so why not go ahead and actually rank these? As far as The Running Man goes, I think this thing needs to just go ahead and be put in number one because I said I was most excited about it. Same for the likes of Superman, which is really high up there. I think Thunderbolts is pretty high. And let's see, Nobody was another one that I mentioned that I was extremely, extremely excited about. Now, where would I put it up here? Definitely before the Thunderbolts, but not before Superman. And then let's see, Fantastic Four as well. And if you're not seeing this theme here, I still have hope for the superhero genre, even though a lot of people poo-poo it and the bigger projects here. I am excited about them. I do love them. I hope they are good. Now, granted, Captain America: Brave New World, as far as anticipation goes, it's way down here with the likes of Saw, because I don't care in the slightest. So, it's going to be low on the list, but who knows? Maybe it'll blow us all away. So, Tron Ares, also another one, quite high. It's going to be up there with Wolfman, and obviously, oh man, Snow White. Okay, that's actually got to go at the end here. And F1, I was pretty excited about this one. Mickey 17, we're going to move that thing around as well. I'm this thing seems pretty cool. I hope that it's great. I think I'm actually more excited about Wolfman though. F1 seems pretty cool. I think it's in the right spot. This Alta movie about the gangsters, I just don't know enough about it yet to really care. So that's going to go a little further behind Karate Kid. Let's see. Oh, Mission Impossible. Okay, yeah. This is easy. I can put this pretty high up there because it does look really cool. Trying to find some that I'm more excited about. How to Train Your Dragon. That one's going to be fairly high. And let's see here. Jurassic World. That one's pretty high as well. I think it looks really cool. Karate Kid, I'm going to go ahead and stick up. Oh man, 28 years later. Holy crap. Okay, that one really jumped up quick there because I totally forgot about it being here. So let's go ahead and put that. Yeah, we're going to put it there. We're going to stick it at number 4. Now, oh man, what is left? Minecraft goes pretty low down there. Yuck. Okay, Ballerina, that's one I can talk about. I think that could be cool. I'm maybe more excited than Karate Kid just because, like I said, I'm not up to the Karate Kid universe at this point. Accountant 2 could be really cool. Sinners just keeps kind of getting bumped down because it's a real toss up as far as what you're going to get from Ryan Coogler and the things that he puts out. Bad Guys 2, it's another animated kids movie. Naked Gun, not super excited. Conjuring, kind of same thing. I think I'm definitely more excited about Avatar than that, just simply because I'm not caught up with those. Same for Smurfs, don't really care. Minecraft is going down. I know what you did last summer. That one's going pretty low on the list as well, but still more excited about it than some of these others. This is starting to look pretty narrowed in here. Naked Gun needs to go lower. I think even honestly below Captain America Brave New World, because I just honestly, as far as anticipation goes, I'm not really anticipating Captain America Brave New World. I'm anticipating it to be bad. But at the same time, I'm more curious about it than many of these others. But I think my list is fairly solidified now. If I've totally screwed this up and you guys think I have terrible opinions about how I have these listed, then let me know. But like I said, this is an anticipation of excitement from me. And there are ones, like I said, that I'm not going to hold my breath for. I'm not going to get overly excited. But The Running Man is definitely number 1. I'm honestly even excited just to get a poster for that one at this point. I'm really curious about the vibe that he is going for with this movie, because that is one thing about Edgar Wright, is that the man's movies always have a vibe, and that vibe is always really good. Oh man, I feel like Nobody 2 ended up a little bit too high. And Tron Ares, I'm still so super excited about that. I hope it's great. So yeah, we'll do like that. And oh man, as you start looking at these lists, it does become kind of complicated, doesn't it? Because there's some that you could really shuffle around here a lot. That right here in this cluster, they're all equally. Oh man, Thunderbolts really does need to go behind a bunch of these. Yeah. Okay. All right. There. I'm leaving it alone. I'm leaving it alone this time. That's where we're sitting. This is my anticipated movies list. Make sure to come on criticalist.com and comment on the list itself and down in the comments below on the YouTube video. But let me know your opinions. Am I totally wrong? Am I a complete and total idiot to be excited about any of these things? I know that many of you are going to say I'm an idiot for being remotely excited about things like Thunderbolts, and I don't blame you. But in all honesty, this list as a whole is kind of weak, and I'm really expecting that my best films of next year aren't even going to be listed here. So, but I with my movies ranked, I'll put that list in the show notes as well for you to check out this list. I haven't even made it public that I've made it yet, because there are things like Twisters and some of the others, some horror films and things that people were really high on that I have not seen yet. So I don't feel like I'm giving this list a fully fair shake yet. But OMB Reviews is who needs to be thanked for this. He did his anticipated movies of 25 list, and I followed right behind him and did mine. So there you go, guys. That's everything right here out in the public. Let me know your thoughts down below over in Criticalist as well, and give us that subscription if you like what you saw here today. And just, guys, make some Criticalist lists. Share them with friends. Share them to your profile. Let us know you've made them, and we'll see who has the best list for the movies of next year. Everybody take it easy, and I'll either be back with some news or review before too long. Later.